Okay, well, I thought it would be best to wait until after Homecoming had come out before doing this video, just because it seemed redundant to do a Madea ranking video before Homecoming came out, because then I would have to do another video where I would kind of squeeze it in, would it be at the top, would it be at the bottom, is it somewhere in the middle? But let me just say up front, I am aware that it is semi-debatable how many Madea films there are. I believe if you look on like Wikipedia, for example, you're going to see about 12 films total. But my list is only going to contain technically 11, but here's the thing. Tough Love is an animated film. I do not count that. And Meet the Browns, if I remember correctly, on the promotional, promotional work for the film and on like the DVD case and whatnot, if it's like in the kitchen, I think there's like a picture of Madea on the wall, or at least maybe I'm thinking about the play. I forgot, but if I remember correctly, Madea only makes a cameo at the very end where she's getting arrested, which I believe leads into the next film, Madea Goes to Jail. So Meet the Browns and Tough Love, I do not put into this list. I Can Do Bad All By Myself is a film where I think Madea makes cameos as opposed to having like a major role in the actual movie, if I remember correctly, because I did a little research on each of the films. I don't remember Madea doing much in that film, but I will put that on the list. But spoiler alert, I Can Do Bad All By Myself is going to be at number 11 at the top, at the top of the bottom, just because I feel like that wasn't a Madea film. I feel like that was a film where Madea was in it, but it really wasn't a Madea film. So just know this list is my own personal opinion based off like enjoyment, the laughs, the rewatchability. It has nothing to do with the box office. I have no care in the world about that. And I'm just talking from my personal ranking. I feel like my ranking might be divisive. I feel like some people will flip my list upside down. But that's the thing. In the comments, I want you to tell me what your personal ranking of the Madea films are. And I know there are other non-Madea Tyler Perry films that I might someday do a review. Well, like a list of or something. Hell, some people want me to go back and like review the plays, like do a video for each play. Like, hey, watch each play and do a video, give me your thoughts. That's something I might do once the current season, like when Sisters goes on mid-season and the Oval season 3 wraps up. If there's a maybe like 3-week or so gap in between, like the hiatus is nearly like a month, I might do that for fun. And I might even start the Haves and Have Not rewatch, or at least doing the reviews for episodes I didn't do reviews on initially, just to kind of, spice up the channel a bit. But here we go. I already said I could do I could do bad all by myself is at the bottom. But number 10, A Madea Christmas. It was a one and done for me. I didn't think it was awful, but it really didn't wow me. I mean, this came out 2013, right around the time that the Haves and the Have Nots was, on the air. Had just come out on the air, and it was pretty interesting because it kind of was the precursor to a Madea Homecoming, where you see Madea sharing the screen with a notable comedic figure in the white community. For this recent film was Mrs. Brown, from overseas, and that particular film, A Madea Christmas, it was Larry the Cable Guy. But I think the story was kind of generic. You kind of knew the flow of where the story was going. The most interesting part of the story for me, I remember correctly, was Tinka Sumner's character getting like one of the politicians or mayor or something to donate $100,000 to like the kids' school or something along those lines. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because in the Haves and the Have Nots, she was trying to blackmail Jim for $100,000. But yeah, I mean, it kind of had heart, but it really didn't do it for me. That's why Madea Christmas is at the bottom of the list. The only thing of substance is I remember winning that DVD from Aaron O'Connell's, like, I guess you could say, fan run or like his agent run Twitter account. I remember winning a competition. I won the DVD and an autograph of Aaron. So that was pretty cool. Wyatt Cryer. Number 9, Butu. Not awful. I did enjoy parts of it, but I felt like that movie is like, it's not as good as the first one. The film, I mean, when you think about it, because look, I've been at home 8 months now. My God. The first Boo movie, I swear it has been on television at least 50 times and my family has watched it. I am sick to death of that movie. They don't play Boo 2 like that. That just tells you right there the second one isn't as good as the first one. What's her name? Inyana, Tiffany's friend in that film, I found out from the film. I was like, hey, she does YouTube videos. She's funny. She's beautiful. So that was a plus of the film. She was dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. Honestly, I thought this movie was going to lead into a Madea family funeral, in that it would be the film setting up Madea getting killed off by like the horror, the late killer, you know, like at the end where it's just Joe and him chilling, and it's like, wait a minute, you know, I got a sister I want you to take care of. I'm like, that would be a hilarious way to kill off Madea, but they don't do it. But the movie had its laughs, but like I said, if you saw the first one, you knew what the second one was about, but it was still good. Number 8, we have Madea's Family Reunion. It's a classic. I feel like this was definitely the times where you could tell Tyler Perry was writing stories. Like, yeah, I know they were a bit cliche, but this was in 2006 where it was early Tyler Perry, so it wasn't like, oh, here we go, yet another story of, you know, a woman going through the trials and tribulations that Tyler Perry put her through. But no, I thought it was a solid film, a lot of rewatchability. I know it seems weird to have it at number 8, but I feel like there are some movies I would rewatch more just for the laughs. But you had Cicely Tyson, you had Blair Underwood, you had Lynn Whitfield. I think Keke Palmer was in this one, Johnny Gill, the list goes on. So yeah, this definitely was one of the early gems in Tyler Perry's catalog. Number 7, I know this movie gets a lot of crap, but I really enjoyed Madea's Witness Protection. It is one of my favorite Tyler Perry projects ever. I know a lot of people like, you know, oh, this was like one of the cheapest looking Tyler Perry films. None of the jokes really landed. I think that's why I like it, because it was so ridiculous. I mean, I think you had Romeo. What was the name of the actor? He plays in Schitt's Creek. What's his name? Let me get it. Eugene Levy. He's been in a lot of stuff like Bringing Down the House. I believe he was in Like Mike. He's just like a lovable, weird, odd guy, and I just like him in almost every project he's in. So I like Witness Protection. I thought it was a good movie. Number 6, A Madea Homecoming. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I don't think it is I don't think it's the best Madea film, but it's definitely not the worst. I thought it was good for what it was. You know, looking at it a second time, there are some things like, I think that the movie was really good, but then when Miss Brown came, things kind of slowed down. You know, I just really noticed that, yeah, by that point, a lot of the jokes ran on a bit too long, and the whole cultural thing became one of the major sources for comedy, and it's cool when done in small doses, but not when you stand around for like 15 minutes and you're doing the same gags over and over again. But I still enjoyed it for what it was. And I think the play really did the story better, because when you really think about it, all the drama from the play was spilled into that one scene in the backyard when Tim announces he's gay. But then it's like, oh yeah, well, his dad is also messing around with Sylvia. And then that spills into the next morning at like the cookout and whatnot. Wait, now Davi and Tim's mom are messing around. It's like all that was like, wait, what? Like, I thought you would at least spread it out, but no, it felt like it was condensed in that one moment, and it's like, okay, on to the next thing. But I did enjoy the film. It was good, but I definitely wouldn't put in like my top 5 Madea projects. Number 5, matter of fact, A Madea Family Funeral. I know it's weird because I did say that A Madea Homecoming was slightly better than a family funeral film, but I do think in terms of like story, I would probably put Family Funeral above Homecoming, just because I feel like Homecoming was funny, it was decent, but nothing beats the whole Madea slapping Joe And Hattie, didn't she slap Joe's teeth out or something like that? It was just like, that movie was hilarious. I mean, hell, even the church scene, the funeral scene, I felt was better than the Red Lobster and the cookout scene or the barbecue scene of the Homecoming film. So I definitely, and plus you had KJ Smith, Sierra, Peyton, I believe. Basically, you had some of the familiar faces we know from the Viacom projects in that film. And not to mention, this was the original Madea send-off, and I remember seeing the movie like, damn, it's sad that one of the best Madea projects is like, well, save the best for last. It's like after, several years of what I thought were mediocre films, Christmas, Halloween 1 and 2, Nobody's Fool, to actually get a good, hilarious Tyler Perry film being the last Madea film kind of sucks. But yeah, I really enjoyed it for what it was. Number 4, Boo 1. Yes, I think the first Boo movie was funny as hell. I'm tired of it because it's been played so many damn times at this house, but it's still like a, from Rack City to the, clowns in the attic and getting chased to church with all those college students dressed up on the street. And then at the end, you got freaking Nephew Tommy in there. The first Boo movie is I love it. I mean, instead of Boo 2, he should have made like a Thanksgiving film just for the trifecta, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. But the Boo, it's just, I love it. Plus, Javon Johnson is in it, a.k.a. Richard from, oh yeah. So you got Javon in Boo 1, and then you got Taja in Boo 2, a.k.a. Richard and Priscilla. Look at that. Okay. Number 3, Madea Goes to Jail. Just classic. Classic. I think in my my video about Mrs. Brown and Madea getting a spinoff and Joe going to Vegas, I mistakenly said, wait, isn't it Diary of a Mad Black Woman when Madea goes to jail, gets out, and then Joe has that big house party and whatnot when she's gone? Or is that Madea Goes to Jail? Honestly, I forgot. The films kind of run together for me sometime, but Madea Goes to Jail is just a classic. I mean, if I remember correctly, it is the highest grossing Madea film, I think, at the box office. I know that's not attributing to my ranking, but it's just a fun fact. Just like Witness Protection, I believe, is the second highest grossing one, despite the ratings for it, but I still love it. Number 2, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Just like Goes to Jail, it's a classic film. I think it had a good mix of story, drama, comedy. The acting in it, I thought, was great. I know this was the beginning of, man, look at that hairpiece on, what's his name? Who was the dude that was the good guy? Who was the mover? And he ended up with, Shamir Moore. Yeah, I didn't care. I mean, it was a good story. It's the film that kicked everything off. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Need I say more? Father, can you hear me? Tiffany Evans, baby. All right, number 1, Madea's Big Happy Family. It's just like a Byron, Siren, Loretta Devine, just lovable. You have Bow Wow, Lauren London. You had the Maury Show, Mr. Brown. It was just a good story because it really does show you that kids, when they grow up, you shouldn't forget that your parents are also growing older. And it's the fact that there are just so many twists and turns in that film. Like when it was revealed that Bow Wow's character wasn't a sibling, but actually the son of the oldest daughter, I think. And there were just so many. I loved it. It was really good. And wasn't this the one where Madea takes like a forklift and takes this woman's car that took her spot and then dropped it on the ground? That was pretty funny. But yeah, I think this movie, that one scene where Loretta Devine goes to the doctor and that song goes like, I think it was called Tired. And if I can actually find it, I can't believe this film came out in 2011. Good Lord, it's over 10 years old. I hope there's a soundtrack. No, I can't find the soundtrack. But no, it's like Tired. It's like, I'm even tired of going to church. Tired. I know that's wrong. I can't sing it right. But that one scene, I'm like, man. And yeah, it does follow that same trope of like, man, it's the end of the movie, so Madea's going to do cleanup. She's going to take 5 minutes and tell everybody off about what they need to do, giving them some real talk. But it was really funny. So in my opinion, I think that's, you know, the best Madea film to me. So if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. But this is all opinion. Let me know, how would you rank these movies? And there are 11. Remember, I did not count Madea's Tough Love. I did not count Meet the Browns. I'm going to list out the movies and then you rank them for yourself. If I'm not lazy, I'll like do a little collage and put them on screen. But I had, and this isn't the order I had them. This is just my list in front of me. Witness Protection, Family Reunion, both of the Boo movies. So both of the Madea Halloween movies, Family Funeral, I Can Do Bad All By Myself, which I don't really count as a film because it was just Madea making glorified cameos. A Madea Christmas, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Madea Goes to Jail, Big Happy Family, and then of course the recent one, Homecoming. So thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel.